Sudarshan, welcome. It's great to be speaking with you. As we look ahead to Innovate Americas, particularly your opening keynote on an AI-driven future for telcos, what do you see as the big question on the minds of industry leaders when considering how to deploy and scale AI?
Thanks, George. It's a pleasure to be here. That's the perfect question because it gets right to the core of the matter for so many leaders that I speak with. I believe the single biggest question on their minds is not about the potential of AI anymore, right? We all see the promise. The real question is, how do we cross the chasm from isolated, successful AI pilots to truly AI-driven enterprise that scales, right? So many carriers are struggling to cross, that scaling gap. On one side of the gap, they have fantastic AI-powered churn prediction models, network optimization models, successful proofs of concept. But on the other side is enterprise-wide value and measurable ROI. So the central challenge for the industry is building that bridge, the operational and strategic bridge, to get across that gap. But the challenge is not about technology anymore, as I see it. It's about transformation. The question has evolved from, can we build a model to, how do we operationalize this across our entire network? How do we integrate AI with our BSS and OSS stacks in a way that's reliable and secure? And most importantly, how do we build an AI factory, right? A systematic, reusable process that consistently delivers that outcomes. So in my keynote, George, I'll be addressing this head on. We'll move past the hype and talk about the practical roadmap required to move from just simply doing AI to becoming that AI native telco. I'm really looking forward to digging into this with everyone at Innovate Americas.
Super, Sudarshan. And can you share some thoughts on Verizon's AI transformation journey, where it's being deployed today and where you're seeing real world impact?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, if you look at our strategy, we have a very mature three-pronged approach that neatly covers the biggest opportunities for any telco. The first one is how we consume AI, the applied AI, right? So this is about using AI internally to run a better business. We are deploying it to drive massive efficiencies and radically improve both customer and employee experiences. This is where you see the most immediate real-world impact today. In proactive network maintenance, in smarter call routing to agents, more personalized customer offers, getting the right information to our agents quickly to reduce the cognitive overload, right? And many more. The second part is how we sell. This is about enhancing our core offerings, right? We're embedding AI into our products to make them smarter and more valuable for our customers. And the third one is how do we enable AI for others? So I think this is the most forward-looking piece. We're using our expertise in telecom and AI to create entirely new revenue streams, moving beyond connectivity to offer new AI-powered services to our enterprise customers, right? But what's really impressive, for me, and what speaks directly to our earlier conversation about, crossing that scaling gap is how we are doing it, right? Talked about building that AI factory to industrialize our approach. The second one I would say is the data modernization and tackling that problem head on. And most importantly, we've embedded responsible AI, privacy, and security guardrails from the start. So this builds that trust with customers and employees, and that is essential to scale AI successfully. So I would say, look, the real world impact is already tangible in a more efficient, predictive network and a better customer experience.
Excellent. And taking a broader perspective, maybe an industry-wide view, what are the biggest opportunities and challenges for communication service providers in deploying AI at scale? And what are you hoping to see and hear in Dallas that address these?
Yeah, look, the biggest opportunity for CSPs is to evolve from just being a communication service provider to a more intelligence service provider, right? So this isn't just a semantic change; it's a fundamental shift in the operating model and culture. So I would say this transformation has two key pillars, right? One is for a CSP, how do we transition to an autonomous network? Right? The ultimate goal is a zero-touch, self-healing, and self-optimizing network. And the second is hyper personalization, right? It's moving beyond that reactive customer service to a more proactively, deeply personalized engagement. This means, using AI to anticipate a customer's needs, and that's very important for a company like Verizon. How do we solve problems before they call for support and deliver experiences and products tailored to them as an individual and not just as a market segment, right? I would say the reason we're not there yet comes down to two foundational challenges for any CSP that I see across in the industry. The first one is the actual data problem, right? Telcos have mountains of data, but it's often locked away in some complex legacy siloed OSs, BSS, network probes, and so on and so forth. So the core challenge is creating that clean, accessible, and unified data that AI can use reliably. It's not glamorous work, but without it, AI initiatives never get off the ground. The second is the integration problem, right? So a brilliant AI model is useless if it cannot trigger an action that's meaningful for the employees or the customer. So the challenge is integrating these modern AI decision engines with our operational support systems. And that's exactly why events like Innovate Americas, I feel, are really crucial, because what I'm hoping to see and hear in Dallas is a focus on the art of the practical, right? It's not just the possible, but what is practical today? And I'm looking for an honest conversation and case studies that address these foundational challenges head on. I want to see how others are collaborating with frameworks like TM Forum, Open Digital Architecture, to break down those data silos, create that composable IT architecture, and have these standards for integration. So my hope is that the discussions in Dallas will provide an actionable playbook for that industry.
I'm absolutely sure they will. And actually, just that reminds me, when you mentioned ODA, at DTW Ignite in June, we announced that Verizon had achieved the running an ODA accreditation. What does that mean for your customers and for Verizon's business? And can you share how it's delivering value across your organization?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for that recognition. That was a really proud moment for us. And it gets to the heart of our entire transformation. And as I mentioned to you back in June, George, achieving the running on ODA accreditation is much more than just a compliance checkbox for us. It's proof that we have operationalized a new way of thinking, a new way of working. By using a common framework with open standardized APIs, we fundamentally decoupled our systems and moved to a composable IT architecture. What it means for the business, this means we can move faster, we can innovate faster. We reduce the complexity by having reusable components and basically future-proofing our architecture and making it adaptable to change. Ultimately, our internal agility translates directly to tangible benefits for our customers, right? So I talked about innovating faster. Our customers get access to new cutting-edge services and features much more quickly than before. When we launch a new product, whether it's for 5G, enterprise, or in-home broadband, the underlying ODA framework ensures it integrates seamlessly into our network and support systems, right? So this leads to a more reliable and high quality experience from day one for our customers and frontline employees.
Fantastic. Great to hear that ODA is delivering straight and tangible benefit directly into Verizon and their customers. Finally, then, again, looking ahead to Dallas, what excites you most about Innovate Americas and the opportunity for collaboration across the Americas?
Look, honestly, for me, it comes down to a unique blend of perspective and people. The Americas, this region is such a fascinating and diverse innovation ecosystem. I would say, on one hand, you have some of the world's most established and complex networks, and they're all tackling AI transformation at an incredible scale. On the other hand, you have dynamic hyper growth markets that are often redefining, leapfrogging legacy technologies with incredible agility and mobile first solutions. So Innovate Americas is one place where these two worlds don't just meet, they learn from each other. It's about discovering that we are all tackling the same fundamental changes and challenges. And by sharing our unique perspectives, I believe we can find the solutions much faster together. So I'm genuinely excited to reconnect with colleagues, to be challenged by new ideas, and to feel that collective energy, pushing our industry forward. I think, there's a real sense of momentum right now, and I can't wait to be part of that in Dallas.
Brilliant, Sudarshan. We look forward to connecting with you in Dallas in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, George.